Alright, God dog it. It's been a minute. Finally got everything right. I'm out of practice. So just give me one moment to get everything set up, man. We're gonna get into it today, man. I got some shit I gotta get off my chest. It's a rant. Yeah. Oh yeah. Let some more people, let some people join. It's been a minute, man. Gotta work out the cobwebs. You know how this goes, man. All right. Like I said, it's been, man, fam, listen, it has been a minute. So listen, I want to forewarn you. Okay? Let me bring this out. I want to forewarn you. If, for whatever reason, I embarrass myself today, just know it's because I'm out of practice. Alright? So make sure y'all can see my screen and everything. Cause I'm a novice to this again. It's been a month, man. It's been a minute. Gotta catch up with y'all on a couple of things here. Man, I hope for everyone catching the replay, if someone comes in the chat, cool. If not, it's all good. You know, I know the algorithm is just like, well, this is pretty much an inactive YouTube account, but I'm back, and I actually want to explain why that happened. Why I took a month off. So hopefully, if you watch it, you can get something. You can get something out of this. Oh man, I don't even know where to start. I guess. Let's see. I guess it's a rant. I'll get to the title of the stream as well. So I won't take too much of your time, man. But basically, your boy was in a state of depression, and I'll get into that a bit more. And I'm very cognizant that mental health and using words like mental health and depression and anxiety is a buzzword now, and I kind of hate that because it's such a serious topic. But we've all gone through it, and for me, I went through it. As you guys know, I started a music production company called Room 380. We are going to hit our second year in May of 2022. We started in 2020, and yeah, man, I'll keep it a buck with you. The first year was fun because everything was brand new, but then it's like that. Drake had posted. he posted his Instagram. He said that the price of hard work is more work, and that was very true. So we hit our financial goal. We made what we made the previous year, which is good. You know, we hired an engineer, we signed our first songwriter, Shannon Hurley, and we did a lot of cool things. You know, we hosted our first writing camp, and we worked on some pretty cool projects. That's a story that we put on social media, and I'm not ashamed of it because that's what I want to do. I want to talk about my wins. I don't want to talk about my losses too much, but for every win, we probably took about 5 to 6 losses on average. And I mean like financial losses. There were projects where in the middle of them we had to pull out, or the artist wanted to pull out, we had to pull the plug. We got told no a lot because we're the new game in town, and you know we have a good catalog, but we still have to develop that brand recognition because you know we're new, we're doing something new in the market in regards to like producing, you know, pop, R&B, and some hip hop. So we're pivoting and we're scaling up and everything else, and we took some hits, man. And I want to say around mid-October last year is when it really started to hit me, that I was approaching burnout. But I was like, oh, I'll just work through it until Thanksgiving. I'll take a week off and then I'll be fine. And then what happened was it didn't get better. It got much, much worse every day. It got hard to get out of bed. It got hard to jump on calls with clients, some that were very happy with us and some not so much. It was, you know, sort of, I don't want to say heartbreaking because that's dramatic, but we took some L's. Like we got some serious W, but we took some serious L's as well. And I don't know if you guys follow me on Twitter, but if you do, this is what I meant by when I said that that no one told us that in regards to running a production company or just being a producer in general, that you spend most of your time doing admin, which is fine, which is means it's like more time out of the studio, which is cool. Sometimes it's good to go meet up potential client at, you know, brunch, or if we're trying to like get ready to pitch records to a label, it's good to meet with like, you know, even an intern somewhere and just discuss whether it's at the studio, whether it's, you know, somewhere in Midtown or somewhere in Brooklyn or whatever. That's fine. That's fun. But the thing is, a lot of times when I would get in an Uber or, you know, ride back in the car with a friend or, you know, jump on a train to get back home, there's a lot of times I had my head down because it was a no. There was one particular situation where like in the middle, like we're all, like the vocal edit got approved, the beat got approved, the mixing got approved, and then we get to the master and the artist is like, hey, I don't like this. And then I say, okay, cool. If you want to make these changes, it's going to eat up your marketing budget. And we had to pull the plug, and it was just like we were literally right there. But because like one minor thing, we had to pull the plug, and it wasn't that big a deal, but it was just like the straw that broke the camel's back, and I had to take time off. And so in speaking with Rivers, the decision was I would take the rest of December off. I did finish one more session. That's part of a writing camp that I'm doing right now, and that was fun because I was having fun with the music. But man, I got baptized in fire this year, man. And the thing is, when I talk to my OGs that have their own production companies and their own like teams, it's like serious teams, I went through like a tenth of what they go through every year. So it's just like I know. The thing is, I know that the more you take on, the more responsibilities you have, the more stress that you're going to take on because you're tackling bigger problems. And that sounds fun at first when you're speaking it, but then when you're in the middle of it, and then, you know, it's like you're jumping in the car to go rescue a friend or a family member from a burning building, but then in the middle of it, like the tire goes flat, and then you got to get out of the car, and then you're like, okay, I'll take the bus, and then you jump on the bus, and then the bus runs to like another bus, and then you got to get out, and then you're trying to take like, let's say, a city bike to get there, but then like you run out of, let's say the city bike stops because you ran out of funds, and then you got to get off, and then you got to run, and then it's like rain. It's like you finally get to your family member to pull them out of the burning building, but like you lost your car, your back hurts from the bus accident, you're flat broke because of that, you're wet, you're cold, and then you have some burns, and you completed the task, but you have all this, I guess, trauma, you want to say, that you went through just to complete that task, and now it's like, okay, great, now I got to keep going and go, complete like the next task, which may be to, like, now maybe the next thing is, I don't know, run like the flag up, like up the hill, but like it's like super hot and you're dehydrated, and it's just like, for my journey, it's this past year, it was like I I had to take like 10 hits to just complete the one thing to get to the next thing. And then when I completed that thing, it was like everyone was sitting there celebrating, like yeah, we did it. But the thing was, is I'm sitting there looking like I can't even celebrate like that with you guys because I had to go handle 9 zillion other things. And then, you guys want to celebrate, that's fine. And we, kick our feet up, with pop a bottle or, whatever. And it was just like, fuck. Like I really went through it. So the wins weren't as sweet as it was for other people on the team, which is fine, which is great. I'm glad that they got a chance to experience that. But on my end, it's not me necessarily complaining, just telling you what it was. It was just I got my ass kicked, and by October I was like, yeah, I need to sit down. So I just kept going, and then by like the second week in November, Riv was just like, yeah, it's probably best that you just sit down. So I stopped everything. I didn't post anything on social media. I didn't go to any sessions. I didn't show up to any events or anything. I literally just sat down and watched a whole bunch of Netflix and ate and, gained a couple pounds and, hung out with my wife and played with my son and just that was it. Like, that's literally all I did. And it wasn't as enjoyable because I like to do the work, but at the same time, man, it was just in the back of my head. Like, I don't know. The real thought I had was, have I reached my ceiling on this? Like, is this my pain threshold? And I'm not sure if this is something that I want to keep doing, or at least do I want to keep doing it this way? And I'm glad I took that break because I don't know what would happen, because it was just this constant thing of just questioning, and I don't like being in a place where I'm questioning myself. I know what I want to do. I may not know how to do it, but I know what I want to do. And being in a place of like, I don't know if I even want to do this, that wasn't a good place to be in. So it is what it is. Yeah. So that explains my me being MIA. I probably need to share this, right? Let's see. Hold up. I thought I did. Hold on, did I? Yes, I did. It's another rant. Want to make sure. I thought I did. Okay, cool. So there's that. So I want to get into, like I said, today's a rant. I'll get into like the all cool like crypto stuff a little later, and maybe even next week. I'll just be honest with you, but I want to address something that needs to be spoken about, man. And it's kind of been pissing me off. And that was one of the benefits of not being on social media, was that you get a different perspective on things. And one of the things I want to address, man, is there's a term people use called "don't shoot the messenger," and I'm here to say it's time to shoot the messenger, and I'll tell you why. So I guess I probably should switch out the image for like a social media image in the thumbnail, but because I wasn't involved in social media, and I would check like on Twitter like once in a blue moon and Instagram or whatever, I deleted the apps off my phone and will only check on my my iMac. And because I was able to get away and not focus on and not being in it, but just observing it, and it's time to it's time to kill the messenger. So people say all the time, like they'll say something that they know is controversial and say, hey, this is what this person said. You know, don't this is what the person said. I agree with it. Don't shoot the messenger, and it's time to shoot the messenger. It's time for people to stand on what on how they feel. And the thing that I have learned from getting older is that a lot of people that we respect are the people that stand on how they feel. It's the reason why, whether you love them or hate them, we say Donald Trump, he's really speaking his mind. And I feel that more people should have the capacity to do the same thing, especially in this business, because one of the things that bothers, that at least bothers me the most, is people don't want to be held accountable. And I feel that's where that whole thing of don't shoot the messenger comes from, is people don't want to be held accountable for even their opinions. And it's like, that's weird to me. And so I think it's time to shoot the messenger, man. And that's the thing about, and I'm not here to call anybody out. I'm just going to my homepage. I'm not here to call anybody out. But if you go through your social media, you'll probably see an opinion or two or something that's wild that someone is saying. You're just like, yo, you really think that, or you really believe that? And people get very defensive, and they'll either say like, well, you're dumb for not agreeing, or this is what other people think. That's just what it is. And it's weird, because I feel like the reason why, since when did the blood of Christ become Welch's? Wow. I feel that people, for the most part, just don't want to ruffle feathers, and it's time to it's time to kill that. Like, it's time to let people know, like, where you stand. You don't have to be disrespectful with it, but it's time to let people know where you stand. Like, no, I don't support this. No, I don't support that. Or I support this and I support that, and it needs to be said, man. Like, I'm kind of tired of, like, I guess, this narrative of trying to play it safe is what I'm saying. Like, you don't have to play it safe anymore. There's more than enough resources. There's more than enough opportunities out there where you don't have to worry about, making someone upset or anything like that. Like, you can say what you want to say. You don't have to be disrespectful, but you can feel like you want to feel and not feel bad about it. And it's time for that, man. It's time for people to say it. Like, time to let that fear go. It's not even real. It's not even real. All right. So, want to get into this crypto a little bit. So, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the guy that goes by the name of Money Man. Money Man is an artist. He's signed to Empire, and he's signed to Ghazi, and I'll show you exactly why I'm pulling this up. So I don't know if you guys know. There we go. This guy here took all his payment in Bitcoin. So I kind of want to touch base on that just a bit. People respect risk takers. Yes, verse 28. People do respect risk takers, and kind of going on that as well, man. It's you've heard the term "fortune favors the bold," and I wish people would understand that standing on what you say really isn't like a bold thing. It's just that you're just saying, hey, this is how I feel about this. If you know how to convey that in an intelligent way, even if, for me personally, if I don't agree with it, okay, cool. Like, I don't respect Alex Jones because he's screaming at the top of his lungs all the time. Like, he'll go in a point where he'll say something like, okay, this makes sense, and then he'll go off, and it's like, I can't respect it. But if you know how to convey those feelings and emotions, and I don't want to say stable, like you're crazy, but if you know I can convey that stuff in an intelligent way, okay, cool. Like, there's stuff like Elon Musk say that I don't necessarily agree with, but I respect his opinion. And I don't know, man. It's just, I don't know how we got here, which is weird, because I'm noticing it. Like, I understand it in the industry a bit more because people are scared to say how they feel because they're scared they're going to ruin their opportunity. And I'm here to tell you, as someone that runs their own company in this business, like, you don't need to fear that, because, okay, let's think of it like this. let's say you wanted to say something about somebody that works high up at UMG, and let's say your opinion is that you didn't agree with what they did. It's not that you don't like them as a person, we just don't agree with what they did. If you say it in a respectable manner and intelligently, if the worst backlash from that is that, oh, this person doesn't want to work with you, and it may tell their friends not to work with you, then why are we seeing so many like screenshotted text messages on Instagram or on these blogs of you going off and someone catches it and posts it when all you had to do was just say what you said before? Like I look at people like Phineas, like Russ, or like two people. Who else is like Joe Budden? I look at these guys and like they're very vocal of their opinions. And again, you don't always have to agree, but as long as you're conveying a message in an intelligent way, then I rock with it. So yeah, verse 28. Yeah, people respect risk takers, man. You gotta be a risk taker. It's not even being a risk taker. You're just saying your opinion. Like saying your opinion shouldn't be a risk. And what are you risking? You don't sign to UMG. What did you want to sign to UMG in the first place? If you didn't respect that person in the first place, why would you want to sign to them? And that's a totally different conversation that needs to be had, because you not wanting to say your opinion is an effect, and the cause is that you shouldn't, at this point now in the music business, you shouldn't feel like you need anyone. And if you do, then that means you haven't been paying attention, which kind of ties into this whole thing with Money Man's $1 billion advance in Bitcoin. Hold on. Okay, so I'm going to cut this one. I'm excuse me, I'm going to cut this one short, y'all. Fortunately, something's come up, so let me go ahead and dip up out of here. Yeah, verse 28. Appreciate you joining the live stream. For those on a replay, hit like and subscribe. But